The semifinals match for the ZOTAC Cup North America. It is Quantic Hyun.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Daybreak, it is our green Zerg, it is Tefel. From, I believe, Dignitas?
I don't know if he's still on Dignitas. Dignitas has had a lot of roster changes going on recently.
Yeah, that's why I, hesitated there.
Let me check that out, actually. I'm curious. I think he's still on Dignitas, but let me just confirm this.
While you're doing that,
Yeah,
to clarify, Unleashed to you, Mental King is, in fact, Shuttle.
Yeah, he's still on Dignitas. And, yes, we'll have to see how this game goes. Sorry, we're just tabbing in and out trying to confirm this stuff. It's always that awkward moment where it's like, I think that information is correct, but I'm only 99% sure.
Yeah.
And let me actually give this guy the bracket since he has
I already did.
Oh, you're
I'm
a
on
good
top
guy,
of
Gary
things.
Good guy, Gary Oak. But okay, guys, to express, by the way, ZOTAC Cup, for those who don't know, it's a $100 winner-take-all. There is no second-place prize. There is no, I guess, hand-holding here for the semifinalists. So whoever plays today, they always have to play hard. And some people love this, so you'll see players like Hyun and Polt, they have no problem cleaning up $100 every single week. But some players, yeah, they'll shy away from events like this. It really sucks. You know, you dedicate 3 hours, 4 hours into a series, and it's like, oh, well, I didn't get anything for it. That kind of sucked. But I always kind of think, like, the players who make it to the quarterfinals, these are the best practice partners you could find. I mean, like, when are you going to have the opportunity, like, hey, Hyun, you want to just kind of scrim? No, I'm busy. But it's like, oh, Hyun, we're in a tournament together? No problem.
Exactly. See how you measure up against some of these top Korean players.
Yeah, it's funny because like a lot of I think a lot of not just players but also spectators kind of be like, all right, here's the tier 1 players, tier 2 players, but you know they're all good players, and a lot of people forget that. And it's when you have something like Hyun around, the players I imagine also kind of forget that.
Yeah, that's true.
But Hatch first versus Pool first coming out, both players with fairly early gas. Hyun with a little bit earlier, nothing too crazy or out of the ordinary. Didn't have to exactly cut workers for it. I'm curious to see if he will go for that Zergling aggression. I think casting Hyun in God knows how long, I've seen him do it responsively, but I've never seen him go for it, like, from the get-go. At least from what I've seen in ZOTACs in the past.
Okay. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see him change up something here and there.
It's funny, though, I gotta stop saying that, that's like my new thing. Like, Penguins is, I think, like, Indeed a Deed. Mine used to be something else. Now it's like, it's funny, though, as my transition phrase, but not saying that, I would like to point out that all Zerg players, I feel they go for the Bailing Nest, right? And there's that moment where it's like, you're sitting there on the edge of your seat waiting for that larva inject to pop out. It's like, okay, is this one going to be Zerglings? Because if this one's not Zerglings, it's just going to be drones. And if it's drones, then he's not going all in. Like, it's just Captain Obvious stuff, but you sit there and you gotta wait for the larva to pop to know exactly what they're doing, what they're planning for.
Yeah, this is quite true. There is a Baneling Nest coming out from Hyun, and he is significantly ahead on his metabolic boost.
Another thing, too, is this map's a little harder to clear the Overlords from, and it's a little more annoying if you don't do it. Some players will go out of their way to make sure that the first Overlord is at least chased off, so that it's not so obvious that that Zergling all-in is coming. And I feel so strongly, I think that is something you absolutely must do. Not should do or want to do, but must do, if you're going to go for some sort of crazy aggression.
Yeah, I mean, the earlier warning you get, the better for something like this.
Tefel with a spine. No nest on the low ground, just a naked spine here.
Spines are nice.
They are nice, but it's kind of like a paranoid thing, but it's not unjust because we have 10 Zerglings, 4 Banelings already on the field. Hyun is going to be coming at him with a bit of pressure.
Quite a lot of pressure, actually. I would have liked to see him get maybe a couple Evo chambers or something as a temporary wall in addition to these spines, because you can always just run past the spines, and that's what Hyun might be wanting to do. Here come the Banelings advancing here. Not doing really any damage, though.
Not bad hit, but 2 more going to try and get in here. Sadly, they both get taken care of. Nice focus fire there out of Tefel.
One gets the larva, which is good. Looks like the unit's lost. Hyun lost quite a bit more, actually. Lost about 300 more resources than Tefel did, so Tefel coming out ahead in that exchange.
Hyun going for a very quick lair, though. Like, he started that lair as soon as he left his base. So I think his goal was just to apply a little bit of pressure and try and go for maybe Mutilisks behind this, but he's going to find
Yeah.
himself having to use a lot of gas on Banelings to defend at home.
Yeah, this Mutalisk transition, if that's what he's trying to do, is gonna... It's most likely what he is going to be doing, because he has 4 gas. It's going to be kind of hampered, because you're always vulnerable when you're doing that transition, because it costs so much money to set that up, and it takes a while for Mutalisks to build. You got to defend yourself.
Yeah, you always want to bank up that 1,000 gas, 1,000 minerals, so bam, instantly 10 Mutalisks on the field. But third base coming down out of Tefel, Hyun's will be delayed for quite a bit of time.
Thing is, though, if this Mutalisk transition goes off effectively, he should theoretically be able to deny this third base.
Well, he's going to have Mutalisks out significantly earlier than Tefel, but of course the big catch is the map distance, traveling, harassing on the way, stuff like that. But Zergling's actually getting in here. Got to be careful. There are some Banelings.
Softening the hatch is really useful. It makes it easier for Mutalisks to pick off, and that's a lot of Banelings just kind of sneaking in here.
But they're actually going to be used quite ineffectively, surprisingly. Meanwhile, Hyun going to try and... Yeah, he's trying to run around. We'll actually get into the mineral line. Hold position, should be able to pick off a couple of workers. Going to try and focus down the spine.
Oh my god!
Just barely...
How did that off?
I don't know. He really should... It was so close at that point. Oh, the Zergling's getting hit there at the top of the ramp. These... Oh my goodness, so much damage going on. Meanwhile, Hyun's still running around with a ton of Zerglings, more so than he should have at this point. No questions about that. Banelings trying to get in here and do what they can, connecting to nothing on 2 different accounts. Spinecrawler still stands. Meanwhile, third base is still being, as you said, softened up.
Yep. And all this is, it's really hurting Tefel. He's losing a lot of mining time. I mean, his main base hasn't been mining for quite a while now.
Well, more importantly than that, the Spire, it's coming up. But look at Tefel's bank compared to Hyun's bank. I mean, Hyun is going to have, like I said, lots of Mutalisks out in the field.
He should be getting +1 Mutalisk armor right away. Hyun should.
And he's still taking these small little engagements of victory here at home. He saw the Spire pop for his opponent. Got to feel really good knowing that he's so far ahead on that aspect. As Tefel's been dedicating a lot, and I really want to emphasize a lot of gas to these Banelings.
He hasn't remainored his drones either. This is really hurting him, and as you said, the bank, the reason why his bank is so crappy and he can't make Mutalisks is because of this disrupted mining that's still going on.
Well, the Mutalisks are just going to start cleaning up the Overlords for the time being, but that's okay. But, I mean, Hyun, I feel Tefel, between being supply blocked and not having that extra gas, he's got the weapons on the way so for Hyun, I mean, but he's going to be so far behind Tefel. Oh, what am I trying to say here? Tefel's going to be behind the Mutalisk, guys. That's my point.
And interestingly enough, Hyun is going for a bit of an, I don't know, an outdated tactic here by going +1 flyer attack instead of Carapace.
I actually like this. People were discussing, you know, like the +1 armor, +1 attack kind of cancel each other out, but the attack that affects the glaives that bans the Zerglings on the ground, if your focus is picking off the Banelings to the Zerglings, the attack 100% worth getting first.
But with Muta versus Muta, Carapace is far superior. That's why you generally go Carapace first. It's so rare to see +1 attack anymore before Carapace, especially out of Korean Zergs.
Well, I was going to say, maybe in the Korea scene for GSL and stuff that might be the case, but for North America I've been seeing it quite frequently, and for Europe it's kind of, well, 50-50 whether who goes for what first.
Interesting.
Players that I know go for Carapace first a lot will sometimes go for flyer attacks. I'd have to like talk to someone in depth to understand if there's a bigger, better reason for that. But it is 16 Mutalisks to 12 guys. Lots of Zerglings here on the ground for Hyun. Going to get into the main, and there's still some really... Okay, there's a Queen there. Of course, that massive damage on the Spore Crawler, but we see the Mutalisks here doing a lot of damage versus these Mutalisks of Tefel. 15 to 8. That number snowballs so quickly, Gary Oak.
And he's killing Overlords too, and picking off stray Mutas here and there. Every little bit counts.
Not to mention his Zerglings. His Zerglings are going unopposed. The slow Banelings trying to chase around the field, but that Mutalisk number just a little too high for Tefel to deal with. Queen not in range, Spore Crawler's not in range, and I think this game going to go to Hyun.
Yeah, no kidding. Look at that. There's only 3 Mutas left for Tefel, and upgrades or not, like this Spire is even going to get taken out before the attack is finished.
GG.
And there it is. GG.